In many cities today, there are independent record stores. They are usually only a small number of them. They're scattered across the city, not clustered together. Like most retailers, they operate on slim margins. But large chains can rely on scale to absorb risk in ways small shops cannot. This isn't because records stopped selling. It's because buying music has moved online into a small number of large websites and apps built to carry everything, compare everything, and deliver everything as fast as possible. Those systems work on different terms. Small shops rely on limited space, careful selection, and long-term trust. Large platforms rely on size, speed, and volume. And yet, Tokyo supports a large number of record stores. Not as a novelty, as a working part of the city. This video is not a guide. It's an attempt to understand how that's still possible. Before music, before culture, before taste, there is the way the city is built. Tokyo is dense, but not centralized. It's a walking city, supported by frequent, reliable public transportation. Daily life happens close to home. Many people stay within their own neighborhoods for long stretches of time. Retail isn't pushed into a few large zones. It's spread across neighborhoods, stations, side streets, and upper floors. Small shops don't need to dominate a block to survive. They don't even need to be on the ground floor. Second floors, basements, narrow storefronts. These are normal here, not disadvantages. Rents vary block by block, not just district by district. That creates many small openings, instead of a few large ones. It lowers the threshold for entry, even if margins stay tight. Most importantly, foot traffic isn't captured by enclosed retail buildings. It stays on streets, around stations, and along everyday routes. That means a store doesn't have to be a destination for everyone. It only has to serve the people who pass by it regularly. This kind of city doesn't reward scale first. It rewards proximity, repetition, and specialization. Before any record store opens its doors, the way the city is built has already decided whether it has a chance. Record stores don't exist on records alone. In Japan, a record store is rarely a single-format business. New releases, reissues, used records, cassettes, CDs, DVDs. They often share the same space. So do books, clothing, accessories, and small goods connected to music and listening. Record store is a shorthand. It names a place people already understand, a physical media shop where music, objects, and browsing coexist. In many cases, that also includes places to pause, a coffee, a beer, a soft drink, not as an add-on, but as part of how long people stay and how often they return. Each of these categories moves differently. New releases tend to move on shorter cycles. Reissues often move on longer ones. Used items circulate continuously. Other goods fill the gaps between cycles. That mix changes the economics of the store. No single category has to carry the entire business. Slow sellers can coexist with fast ones. Risk is spread across formats, price points, and buying habits. Just as important, customers return for different reasons. Some come for a specific new title, some browse, some trade in, some pick up something small and leave. Those visits overlap, repeat, and accumulate. In a city like Tokyo, this circulation doesn't funnel through one dominant outlet. It moves through many shops at once. That's what makes density possible. Not uniformity, but overlap. Tokyo did not grow as a single center. It expanded outward, in pieces. Much of what is now central Tokyo began as farmland, villages, and small settlements. What transformed those places wasn't industry or planning, it was rail. Rail lines didn't just move people into the city, they created dozens of local centers at once. Each station became a place where people arrived, transferred, waited, worked, shopped, and passed time. Over decades, those station areas thickened. Housing, offices, entertainment, and retail stacked together. Buildings were rebuilt, subdivided, and reused. Ground floors, upper floors, basements, all became viable places to do business. This mattered more than any single neighborhood. It produced a city where daily life stays local. Movement is frequent but routine. Small commercial spaces are normal. Turnover is expected, and overlap is tolerated. Retail didn't have to consolidate to survive. It could multiply. Instead of one dominant center, Tokyo developed many dense commercial zones. Record stores didn't create this pattern, they moved into it, like any other specialty retail. They clustered where people already moved, lingered, and returned. That's why the density appears uneven, but persistent, across Tokyo, and why new stores can still find room to open without needing to replace what came before. Trust in Tokyo's record stores is established before anyone walks through the door. Many shops communicate constantly through social platforms. New arrivals, restocks, events, sales. People don't arrive to discover what's new. They arrive already informed. That pre-knowledge changes how the space works. Inside the shop, expectations are clear and consistent. Food isn't allowed, drinks stay outside, records aren't opened casually. If someone wants to inspect a used record, they bring it to the counter. The clerk opens it. The inspection happens there. Nothing about this is rushed, and nothing needs to be explained. There's no sales talk, no greeting called out across the room, often no conversation at all, except a quiet thank you at the register. That silence isn't discomfort, it's structure. It protects the inventory, it protects the customer, and it removes uncertainty about how to behave. People can browse without pressure. They can take their time without being watched. They can leave without buying, without explanation. Once these expectations are understood, they travel from shop to shop, from neighborhood to neighborhood. In Tokyo, that shared understanding allows hundreds of independent stores to function side by side. Not because they're the same, but because they operate on familiar terms. In a dense city, trust isn't built through conversation. It's built through consistency. Tokyo has a large number of record stores. What matters isn't that record stores exist now, but whether new ones can still open. The real test is entry. Do new stores still open? And if they do, how often and where? There is no official count of record stores in Tokyo. There is no record store association. There was once a biannual book called Record Map, but print updates move too slowly. What exists instead is observation. For more than a decade, an independent online directory, Rikoya, has attempted to keep track of record stores across Japan. It relies on its users to add new shops and update existing ones. Not perfectly, not comprehensively, but continuously. That continuity matters. On the day this video was published, Rikoya just listed over 200 record stores in Tokyo. That number does not stay fixed. Record store owners tend to operate inward. Like gallery owners, they focus on their own space, their own stock, and their own customers. Most don't spend time visiting other shops to see what's opening or closing. There's no expectation that they should. And many simply don't have the time. Some run their shops 7 days a week. The work is continuous. Attention stays local. And yet new record stores still open. They open because some people want to share what they care about, quietly, and on their own terms. These stores aren't opening because conditions are perfect. They're opening because entry is still plausible. Rent, space, supply, information, and expectations align just enough for someone to try. And existing stores don't need to disappear for that to happen. This isn't preservation, it's renewal. A city that can still accept new record stores quietly, without announcement, is a city where the underlying structure is still doing its work. That's what makes Tokyo unusual. Not the number alone, but the fact that the number keeps changing. This video is not a suggestion that other cities should try to copy Tokyo. Tokyo's conditions are specific. They emerged over time, shaped by history, movement, and use, not by a single plan. What this shows is that decline isn't inevitable. It's conditional. Where small spaces are viable, where movement is routine, where expectations are shared, and where entry is still possible. Ordinary, personal businesses can persist. Record stores make this visible because they're fragile, but the lesson applies more broadly. Physical culture doesn't survive on nostalgia. It survives when the structure underneath it still works. That's the part worth paying attention to.